What is up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So we're gonna look at the current situation of the war that is currently happening. So yeah, we're gonna see like people's reaction, people's views, and yeah, let's continue with this.
Attack on Iran mean? On the morning of February 28th, America and Israel launched another war on Iran. This one is bigger and more serious than those we saw last year. This is a war of regime change.
To the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Take over your government. It will be yours to take.
And an aim which was endorsed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel.
אתם לא אויבים שלנו, ואנחנו לא אויבים שלכם.
Missiles have rained down on Tehran, the capital, and sites across the country. They've included attacks on the compound used by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, and military sites right across the country. Iran's response has already been faster and fiercer than on previous occasions. They fired missiles towards Israel within hours of the war beginning. They fired missiles at the headquarters of the US Navy's 5th Fleet in Bahrain.
Missile actually got through.
It also fired missiles at Jordan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, where a person was killed by falling shrapnel. This is not going to be a quick in and out operation. This is likely to last for days, as America and Israel pound the target list throughout Iran. What does this mean for the Iranian people? Well, they're unlikely to rise up while bombs are still falling on their streets. But when the dust settles, one of the key questions is how far these strikes will have weakened the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's Praetorian Guard, and other parts of the repressive state security apparatus. Will they be able to contain and brutally suppress any mass protests that occur in the aftermath of this conflict, as they did a month ago? This is a decisive moment for a regime that has occupied a commanding position in the Middle East for nearly 40 years.
Here is a quick summary of everything you need to know. To fully understand everything that's going on right now, I'm going to give you some brief historical context. In August of 1953, the United States and the United Kingdom did something called Operation Ajax, where they overthrew the democratically elected Prime Minister Mossadegh and implanted their guy, Reza Shah Mohammad Pahlavi. Also known as the Shah, he oversaw Iran from the 50s to the 70s, and during this time, Iran saw a lot of economic growth. They had liberalization, modernization, women were able to do whatever they want, wear whatever they want, go to university, and it was an overall very liberal society. However, at the same time, it was heavily influenced by Western countries. So the United Kingdom, the United States, Israel, they had heavy ties and influence to Iran, which a lot of people did not like. The Shah also had a secret police called the Savak, which employed a lot of over-surveillance of citizens, brutality, and unnecessary aggressions, which the citizens grew to heavily resent. At this time, a lot of the wealth and power was also solely concentrated with Iran's elite, which religious leaders and the general population grew to resent because of the heavy Western influence and funding that the elite had. By 1979, the people got tired and had a revolution where they replaced the monarchy with the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is the Iran that we see today. Now, the new leader we see is Ayatollah Khamenei, who carried on Iran from 1979 from the revolution to today. And his government strongly stood against Western influence and cultural dominance, against imperialism, against Zionism, and strongly supported the Palestinian cause. So while these objectives were great, there were other downsides to this government. It imposed heavy religious extremism and rules and regulations on women, women's hijabs, covering up all the time to a point of brutality, which we saw in the Masha Amini case and Zan Zindagi Azadi movement. Political dissent, independent media, and civil society activism are heavily restricted. On top of that, the economy has become so devastated that it's hard for an everyday Iranian to live in. US imposed sanctions to curb the Iran nuclear program has resulted in a collapse of the economy as of late December. Inflation is skyrocketing, the rial, which is Iran's currency, has totally collapsed, and people across Iran are protesting. Civil unrest is so tense that the current Iranian government is enforcing brutality amongst protesters. Many are dying at the hands of government officials. There have been widespread internet and phone blackouts, so people living in Iran have no contact to their family members or friends outside of Iran. People of Iran are not only fed up with the economy, they're fed up with the government, and they just want a widespread change of government and a complete overturning. There are, however, some downsides to this. You may see some photos circulating of Iranian protesters carrying the Israeli flag. This is because there are some Iranians who want to bring back the Shah monarchy. They want to have that Western-aligned government. They want to have that Zionist-aligned government, which would mean that the Palestinian cause would greatly suffer because Iran is one who's greatly funding Hamas right now. Their argument is that they would see more liberalization, women could be free again, but if I know anything about Western intervention, is that Western intervention may look good right now, but overall you'll see a result like Afghanistan and complete failure all over again. I think what the people of Iran need is a third choice, not just a decision between the Islamic Republic versus the Shah. They need a democratically elected leader who will stand for their interests while also not standing for religious extremism. More than ever, I also want to see Iranian voices amplified, the people of Iran, diaspora Iranians, to decide what their government is for them. And if people in Iran are tired with the religious extremism, that doesn't automatically make them a Zionist. I want that to be clear.
Okay, guys, so do you think that after the death of the supreme leader, do you think that Iran will go back to women empowerment, to what she is currently talking about? You know, so yeah, this is what I'd like to know.
Hello everyone, I just wanted to come on here for a minute to talk about the current situation that's going on in Iran. I am so privileged and so lucky as an American citizen to be able to wake up every morning knowing I'm safe, but so many people don't have that privilege. And it's so awful seeing innocent people, innocent children being murdered because of the actions of governments. If you're someone who's active in fandom spaces, so many of the people you interact with could be dealing with this right now and you wouldn't even know. I know a plethora of people in the Blue Lock fandom alone who are dealing with this right now, and it's just so heartbreaking to see people I've made real connections with have to struggle with this. But I want them to all know that they're not alone, and I want to show my support in any way I can, and I encourage you guys to all do the same. Do your research, speak up, just don't stay silent in situations like this. If you got this far, thank you for watching.
Trump's final message to Iran, if he's ever unalived, is insane. As you can see, Trump literally said this: if Iran were to ever unalive me, I have left instructions. And you might wonder, what type of instructions has he left for Iran? Trump has literally said they will be obliterated. Nothing will remain of Iran. I don't even know what to even make of that, because if I was Iran and I wanted to, cause harm, I would literally refrain from doing so. What do you mean you've left instructions? What do you mean you're gonna obliterate an entire nation? Nothing will remain of Iran. And in the video, Trump even goes as far as saying that they would, long story short, be wiped off the map if he's ever unalived by Iran. I don't know who pissed off Trump. I don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but this nigga has been on demon timing for the past couple of days. Not even, for like the past 42 hours, 48 hours. He has not been playing at all.
Okay, guys. I mean, this is crazy. All those people, that's why I'm saying that all these civilians who are on the ground, this reminds me of the time when they attacked, what is this country's name? They attacked Venezuela. I remember the time when they attacked Venezuela, drone attack. So imagine all those drone attack on Venezuela in terms of all those casualties in the city of Venezuela. But at least they caught Nicolas Maduro. At least they caught him, and the people are happy now. But this thing of Iran, even though they killed their supreme leader, I mean, things are still going as the way the supreme leader planned it to be, because they say this war is not initially a war between America and Iran. This is a war against America and China. Okay, Israel has beef with Iran. That is understandable. But they say that because what America is doing to Iran, they're trying to piss China off in terms of oil, because Iran is the most largest supplier of China in terms of oil. It is crazy. It is crazy that, I mean, like, this thing is happening. Imagine crowds flee as falling objects spots fireball in Doha. So is that a debris from a missile? Because that was a full missile to which fell down.
Oh my god.
That doesn't look like that was a full missile. The thing that we're talking about, like, Iranian women are the ones who are celebrating at the moment because they say everything will go back to the way Iran was. So, which means this was initially part of the plan.
The news rippling through the sea of Iranian protesters, seeing it on their phones, then literally jumping for joy.
The leader of Iran has died.
Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei is dead.
He's down.
And how do you feel?
Finally!
Excited.
I can't feel my express after these many years.
Khamenei and his government, the reason they're all here protesting, more than 250,000 of them flooding these streets just north of Toronto, raising their voices against Khamenei and throwing their support behind his enemies. Here, front and center, the Stars and Stripes with the Star of David.
Thanks, Trump, to support us. Thank Netanyahu, support us. We love it.
A joint U.S.-Israeli strike carried out on Iran earlier today that Israel said targeted key government infrastructure and leaders, but also ended up killing civilians. A girls' school blown up, killing dozens, mostly female students, according to Iranian state media. For Canada's Iranian community, it's meant a mix of both fear and hope.
Mixed feelings. You're happy that the U.S. is going to help and release the people from Iran, and also at the same time, we are concerned about the innocent people.
Further south, in downtown Toronto, demonstrators slamming the attack on Iran, saying it was not approved by the U.S. Congress or the United Nations. But for those like Hurad Faridi and his family in Iran, the risk is worth the reward.
We've all taken on that risk, and we're willing to take that risk for a better future, not only for ourselves, but for generations to come.
The march made its way down a key corridor here in the Greater Toronto area for a couple of kilometers, the crowd eventually gathering here in front of a stage. The lineup of speakers on stage throwing their scripts out the window and focusing on the breaking news.
The people of Iran are free once and for all!
All of it sparking a new wave of hope here.
I feel like it's the end. The end is coming, and we're going to be victorious.
So, if, I mean, like, everything go back to normal in Iran, so does it mean all the refugees were coming? Because this is Canada. I mean, like, Canada has almost every refugee to think of. Indians, everybody has immigrated to Canada. So, yeah, because now it seems like the thing that was initially talked about, so women freedom, like, women were never free in terms of them being in Iran. So now there's going to be freedom, but in terms of the current situation for people in Iran, I can see that people are celebrating at the moment outside Iran, but the current situation in Iran at the moment, I mean, like, people are scared at the moment, even though they're celebrating some people who are in Iran, but I mean, like, people are. It is crazy. It is crazy what we are seeing that is happening in Iran.
Iran is not our enemy.
Israel owns Trump and the U.S. government. Israel wants Iran completely destroyed and thrown into chaos so that Israel can mow the lawn in Iran whenever it chooses. Israel is forcing the United States to attack Iran to fulfill Israel's darkest desire to destroy and control Iran so that Israel can now become the king of the Middle East, the hegemon, enslaving all the Arabs and Muslims in the region. Israel's plans for the Middle East, in close coordination with the U.S. military-industrial complex, have been known since 2007. In 2007, General Wesley Clark famously recounted that a general in the Pentagon told him on or about the 20th of September 2001, that is 9 days after 9/11, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." I said, "We're going to war with Iraq? Why?" He said, "I don't know." General Wesley Clark came back to see the same Pentagon general a few weeks after his 20th September 2001 visit. And he said to Wesley Clark, "I just got this down from upstairs today." And he said to Wesley Clark, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off with Iran." According to Wesley Clark, this plan was not about responding to direct threats or deterring conflict, but was instead aimed at fundamentally reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East in a manner favorable to Israel. Let us be very clear. The American people have been brainwashed into believing that the United States military's purpose is to keep America safe. The United States military's true purpose is to start wars and change governments on behalf of Israel. The Israeli Zionist Jews tell America, "Go and kill people, destroy governments, and create chaos." The crazed, insane Israeli Zionist Jews tell Americans to go die for Israel so that Israel can move one step closer to achieving the Israeli plan for Greater Israel. Who has paid for these wars? America, and it will be Americans who will die in this war against Iran.
Okay, guys, like, I do understand what this lady is saying in terms of, Israel being the ones who are responsible for it, because, like, remember recently Israel was responsible for the taking down of Gaza. Now they're taking on Iran. Man, like, this is currently crazy what is happening at the moment. I mean, like, this is something else. I mean, like, it seems like we are watching a movie. That's what I'm seeing. It seems like we are literally watching a movie in real time. And the way she is saying it, it is happening, like, in terms of step by step on how they want it to happen. To think that all of this is just because they want to gain oil. They want to control oil. So if Iran is out of the way, then it means that Israel will control everything. What will be next? The other Arab countries, I don't want to mention, but I'm thinking of what country will be next on the list.
This war with Iran is not America's war. It is Israel's war that America is fighting on behalf of Israel using your tax dollars. You see, Iran is a threat to Israel's existence, and Israel will never stop until Iran is completely neutralized and they have full control over not just Iran, but of the entire region. Mainly because Iran is one of the largest sovereign nations in the region. They have no U.S. military bases, there is no U.S. embassy, and there is no U.S. puppet running the country like there is in the region. And most importantly, Iran supports and funds all of the groups that are fighting Western imperialism in the region. And it is very important to know that the Palestinian resistance would have never made it this far without the support of Iran. And you shouldn't take my word for it. You should listen to Palestinian martyrs like Nazar Banat, and you should watch this video on YouTube. Netanyahu knows that there is a small window to take out Iran right now, which is why they have tried to convince and pressure the US to join them in this attack. Mainly because in the last 2 to 3 years, Israel has killed the top leaders and officials and generals in the Palestinian and Lebanese resistance, and also some of the top leaders and generals in the Iranian military. Today, Iran's Ayatollah Khamenei was killed in an Israeli strike. So what does this mean? It means there is going to be an all-out regional war, which is why so many people have been ringing the alarm, trying to prevent this very moment. But here we are. Iran is not going to go down without a fight, and neither are any of the groups they support and fund in the region that fights Western imperialism. Everyone is going to fight like their life depends on it, because this is the moment, okay? And so the US and Israel are not only going to attack Iran, but they're going to open up the prison gates to allow ISIS and Al-Qaeda fighters to take over the region and cause absolute havoc. And the US is going to use this to make the case as to why they not only need your tax dollars to fund this war, it's why they're going to need your children to fight this war. This regional war will take the lives of millions of people in the region, but it will also define the fate of the region for the next 50 to 100 years. And the US is securing Israel's position as the next new world leader. This is the transfer of power. This is the global new world order. And the craziest part is Americans are in denial about all of this, just as they are in denial about the Epstein files, but it is all connected. And right now it is happening. It is happening in real time. And
it begs to question, was Trump sending the wrong narrative, and also the media? Because what we are fed internationally in terms of the media is that people are celebrating of the supremacist leader's death, but when we are looking at the moment, it seems like people are crying. And this is footage from it was posted on the 1st of March, and you can see people are crying, but the pictures to which we see is that people are celebrating. And remember, like, the people who are caught in between all of this is the Iranian people. The people who never chose to be born in Iran are the ones who are caught in between the crossfires. And then the people who are in Canada, who are maybe of Persian or Iranian descent, are celebrating, whilst the people are going to suffer. I understand that women are going to be free of whatever it is, but understand that we should look at the people who are currently in between all this crossfire.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both, oh yes, they both reached for. Let me hear it.
چه خوش عطر چه خوش دم چه خوش رنگی نرگس از هر کی بپرسین بهترین چای کدومه میگه نرگس از دستی که طعمش رنگش عطرش خوبه نرگس چای آشتی کنون چای نرگس تو ایران بهترین چای نرگس.
Okay guys, there you go, like in terms of like what we are seeing currently in terms of the war that is happening currently in Iran. I mean, like, you know, like, this is something that is much more debatable because, like, it seems like the celebration is all about that women are now going to be free of whatever regime they are under, you know, after the death of the supreme leader. But another question is that what Israel is pushing in terms of what America is pushing also, like on them trying to take over, you know, trying to push whatever agenda they're trying to push. What about the casualty, you know, the people who are going to die in terms of the crossfire, you know, like all the bloodshed that is going to happen in terms of the Iranian people who are caught in between all of this war. But despite me saying much, guys, you can comment down below on your thoughts in terms of what you think of this. But despite that, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe. Let's meet up to the next video. And how I like to say it, peace out.